Hey everybody, it is Friday, yet another Friday, y'all. It is June the 19th, 2026, y'all. We are plowing and moving through this month, and I know it's because we're doing so well, we're productive, we're fruitful, we're maximizing all of our time, and it's moving quickly because we're moving quickly. We're accelerating in our lives, in our health, in our wealth. Wealth is more than money, y'all. But we're accelerating in so many ways, and that's why things are picking up because that's what's happening in your life. Things are starting to pick up and go faster than usual. Things are coming to you faster than usual. Blessings are coming to you faster than usual. Prayers that are answered are coming to you faster than usual. Everything that you need is starting to come to you faster than usual. Can I get a witness out there? Amen, somebody. But we are here live on the Inspiration Station with none other than Joshua Lennox, your CEO, your Chief Encouragement Officer, y'all. I don't know about you, but I just feel good. And I don't always have to have a actual reason or several reasons. First of all, I'm just glad to be alive. Hello, somebody. But I feel good just because I feel good. And I don't know about you all, but sometimes, you almost can feel guilty for feeling good because you've been so used to being in survival mode, or you've been so used to always having so much resistance, or always needing to solve a problem, always having one challenge after the other. And as I always tell you guys, we have challenges every day. Am I having some challenges right now? Absolutely. But those challenges are reminding me that we can do what? We can overcome what seems to come over us. I know I'm not the only one who's an overcomer out there because I know that each and every one of you who are watching right now are definitely that, or who are listening, you are definitely that. So, hope that you all have had an amazing Friday so far. I know this is the best part of your day on Fridays and the best part of your week. I know it. And like I said, don't tell too many people because I don't want them to feel some type of way. But if they do, that has nothing to do with me. But anyway, I hope that if this is your first time, that this will definitely not be your last. I'm excited that you're here. I know that the Inspiration Station is literally a place where we realize and we recognize that we are not only inspirations to one another, but we're inspirations to ourselves. So many things in your life that you can have as a reference to remind you that you can do anything you put your mind to. There have been several things that you thought you couldn't get through, and you did, and you're still doing that today. This is also where we're open, we're honest, we're vulnerable, not just with each other, but with ourselves, because the relationship that is often neglected is the one that we have with ourselves. So we're not doing that. We're not neglecting ourselves, we're prioritizing ourselves, which is the healthier way to see it. Also, we have people who will be coming in to be interviewed and being spoken to, and dropping wisdom to us, dropping nuggets to us, spreading out their lives to us, and letting us see where we can also mirror our own lives with theirs, and also giving us some tools for our tool belt and even some things for our first aid kit. Okay. And as we're in a place of transition, change, shift, I just want all of you to know that, as I always tell you, thank you for your patience. Please continue to share. Please continue to subscribe. I want to say that when you're doing something like this, things don't always have to look perfect. Things don't have to always be perfect. Just keep going. You need to always be consistent in whatever you're doing and be faithful, even if it's in transition or pivot. It's going to be kind of very good about what we're going to speak about today. And what I just mentioned is kind of something that's parallel to that. But also, this is a place where we want to also embrace. I said also like three times, y'all, but embrace who we're becoming, because we're always in this training ground and this orientation to become who we've never seen before. And sometimes, often, that happens because we have a sifting in our life. We have to sift through some things. Some things have to fall away. Some people have to fall away. Some thought processes have to fall away. Some false identities have to fall away. Then there's a shifting. Things have to turn. Things have to change. Things have to be transformed. But then there's also a lifting you from some of the heaviness, some of the things that you were carrying, some of the things that were unnecessary that you just kept in your mind, kept on your shoulders. And then there's a gifting. The gifting is where I get to see the greater parts of who I am, the greater things, the rewards that come from the work that I'm doing on myself inside that then shows itself on the outside. So I want to jump right in because I am excited. I'm always excited, and I hope that you are too. And live a lifestyle of knowing that it's not crazy to always be smiling, to always be laughing, to always think positive. Now, you're a human, so you're not a robot. So you have your own emotions, your own feelings. You go through challenges, you go through obstacles. You have your moments where you probably want to go off and do whatever else, or you feel sad, you feel low. You have your moments. And let me say this: just because you have weak moments does not make you a weak person. You're not a weak person for having weak moments. So always know that you're a whole person and you're going to have different experiences in your life. And you don't always have to act as if you have to wear a mask and you always have to be on and always have to be happy-go-lucky, which that could be the nature of who you are. But you can have your moments, and that's absolutely not abnormal and it's healthy because you're not a robot. So I want to jump in today. The title of today, y'all, drum roll, please. Are y'all doing the drum roll? Anyway, okay, I do. I should have did it myself. But the title of today is "Don't Rush What Requires Process." Ooh. Don't rush what requires process. We all like to just go slow in our lives and take our time, right? Not. So I'm going to talk to you today and have a parallel on why cakes, houses, and cars teach us the value of timing, development, and inspection. So are y'all ready? Before we jump into this, I want to ask you a question. Would you eat a cake that came out of the oven halfway baked? Some of y'all probably would. That's nasty. But anyway, would you live in a house that skipped inspections? Hmm. Would you drive a car that skipped part of the assembly line? Most people would say no. I hope that each and every one of you said no as well. But yet, many of us want finished product results while resisting finished product processes. I'll say that one more time. Many of us want finished product results. So we want the outcome. We want that outcome immediately. We want that first if we can get it. But we'll resist finished product processes. We don't want to go through the process to get to the outcome. So one of the main things, there's going to be four main points that we're going to illustrate in the talking about a cake, talking about a house, and also talking about a car, assembly of a car. The four things, the four main points I want you to keep at the front of your mind, which is every great outcome, what every great outcome would require. So, every great outcome, the finished product, every great outcome requires multiple parts. So, it's not just one thing, two things, three things. There's multiple parts to get to the finished product. There's proper timing. Sometimes it's going to take a time that maybe you're not familiar with or that you're not prepared for. Not maybe it's a little slower than what you're thinking. Some things might be a little faster than you think. Who knows? But it's proper timing. Then also thorough inspection. This thing has got to be evaluated. We got to make sure it's set. It's got to be ready and in proper alignment, whatever that is, before you get to the outcome. Also, patience with the process. Every last one of y'all love patience, right? Put your hand up. I know everyone loves to be a patient person, right? Yeah. So, but we need patience within the process. First, we're going to start with the cake. Y'all ready? I know some of y'all are probably licking your lips and stuff because you're thinking about the sweets and desserts and all that stuff, cookies and pies and all of that. But with the cake process, we got to have the ingredients before the enjoyment. We have to have the ingredients before the enjoyment. The key thing in this is that you can't eat the ingredients separately and expect a cake. I love sometimes hearing people use this as an analogy because they talk about you can't eat the eggs and the flour by themselves. You wouldn't eat eggs by themselves. Some people do that. That's nasty. You can't eat the flour by itself. I hope y'all wouldn't do that. You can't eat the butter by itself. If you do, that's disgusting. So, but we have to make sure that we have the ingredients before we can actually get to the placement of enjoyment. We have to mix those things together. So, what do we need? Let's look at basic things: flour, eggs, sugar, butter, baking powder, and even frosting for some of y'all frosting lovers. But see, each ingredient serves a purpose, especially when you put them together. They can stand alone, but think of the greater thing that it creates when you put it all together. But each individual thing has its purpose to make a bigger picture. How do we apply this to our lives? I want you to think about your life and even where you are currently in your life. This could be character, can be an ingredient. Who are you when the lights are off? Who are you when you're not in front of people? Who are you consistently? What about discipline? Do you have the certain endurance or the certain the what is it called? What would you say with discipline? Are you able to have self-control? That's what I mean, self-control and restraint to not do certain things, to stay focused, to stay uh, follow align with let your words and your actions stay in alignment for an extended period of time. Also, failure. I know failure, sometimes we say that and it's like, oh, I don't want to fail. And it's like, but it's an ingredient, a part of our lives and our development. Just because you have failures does not make you a failure. You can fail and not be a failure. Also, experience. We need experience definitely as an ingredient. We need to be exposed to certain things. We need to have certain life lessons or things that we gain out of what we're doing. This is a part of the ingredients as well. Relationships, people of all whatever that looks like, your family, your friends, business partnerships, organizations, community, whatever that is, that's another component that we need. Also, wisdom. And I kind of hit on that when I was speaking about experience, but wisdom, what kind of lessons have I learned in order to not make the same mistakes? What kind of tools do I have in my tool belt that cause me to make greater decisions, move differently, move strategically in my life? So all of those things become ingredients in who you're becoming: your character, your discipline, your failure, your experience, your relationships, and your wisdom. We need all of those things. Now, can all of those things stand alone? Just like we talked about a cake? Sure. But think about when you put all of that together, think about the bigger picture of who you are. All right. I want to talk about why does timing matter. Now, if we take a cupcake, your cupcake versus a wedding cake, it's going to take less time to make a cupcake than a wedding cake, right? I'm not losing y'all, right? Don't start getting slow. But a cupcake is going to take less time to make a wedding cake. Wedding cake probably has different layers, different tiers, or sometimes it's just a huge cake. But a cupcake is pretty small, and if you even have multiple cupcakes, it's still going to take less time because they're smaller things. It takes less time for them to have to develop or for them to be finished. So likewise, how else can we compare this? Different dreams that you have require different developmental periods, right? Bigger assignments in your life often require longer preparation. You can look at somebody who has been singing and you think that they've just popped on the scene overnight, and you have no idea what it took. That they started out at talent shows in their hometown, and then when they went from talent shows, they went from record company to record company only to get the door slammed in their face for several years. Then they started trying to collaborate and write for people behind the scenes. Nobody knew their name. Then they started singing background vocals on major artists' albums, and then after a while they got a shot for a showcase, and maybe they signed a record deal and they shelved it for a while, or they took them years, and or maybe they felt like they had to go under some level of development before they can put them before the world. They wanted to get the right songs, get the right A&R, that's artist and repertoire. They wanted to get the right production, the right team around them before they produce them out in the world, and that might have taken up to 20 years from the time they did talent shows up until that point. So because of and somebody could think they're an overnight sensation because now they're blowing up, they're doing all of this stuff, and it's like you have no idea what it took for somebody's preparation. You have no idea about the development that took place. All the things I mentioned just a minute ago about how it applies to our life and who we're becoming, you need all of those ingredients so that you are developed properly and prepared properly for what you're becoming and what you're going to do. Okay. So, but what happens when we try to rush the process and who we're becoming? Even when we talk about a cake, we're going to go back, still staying with the cake. The batter stays raw. You're trying to rush and hurry up and put that thing in the oven and doing whatever, and it's like, okay, now you want to pull it out so fast. And if y'all know anything, you open up that oven too soon, the cake will fall. Also, the center never develops. So you can pull a cake out and you're like, okay, I'm done. And then you touch the middle, or you use the toothpick test, and it's like jelly in the middle of it. It's not even done yet, but the outside looks like it. That think about yourself. Sometimes the outside, the external part of who you are and what you do can seem like you are ready, you're done, you're prepared for what you have an outcome, you're ready for what the next level is. But actually, inside the core of who you are, your character, all those other things have not been developed. Your emotional regulation, all of those things. And again, to the point, the outside may look done while the inside remains unfinished. So, a life lesson in this is just because something looks ready doesn't mean it is ready. Just because it looks ready doesn't mean it's ready. Really quick story. I made a cake one time. I'm not really a person who likes to bake. I really am not a person who really likes sweets like that. And my mother I told her to come out the kitchen. I cooked everything. I wanted to cook. I love to cook, period, but I like to cook when I can with my mom. Like, because my mom grew up always throwing down, and she still can. She can throw down in the kitchen, no problem. But I'm like, I want to cook, cook for my mom. That's great because, and I know what I'm doing, and to have her to eat my food anytime I do, if that's the greatest compliment. I wanted to make a cake. Cake was gonna be great. It smelled amazing. I followed the directions to a T, y'all. I took it out too soon. I thought it was done because it looked like it. The top of it looked like it was browned out or whatever. I'm like, okay, I'm done. Well, y'all, when I tried to transfer the cake and get ready to turn it over or whatever, it was still just as moist and a little bit too moist. It was runny. And I was like, and my feelings were hurt because I was like, oh, this is going to be a great cake, a new recipe I wanted to try. I want my mom to try it. And I was like, it's going to be really good. My mom said, it's okay. She said, can I help you? I know you said you want me to leave, but can I help? I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. It fell apart, but what my mom did was she put it back in the mold pan for me, and she said it just needs to go back in there and cook this. And it cooked a little longer. And when we took it out, it looked like nothing had happened. So what I took out too soon, it had to go back in order for it to be complete. So sometimes we don't want to take something out and or take ourselves out of a process so quick because it can be incomplete and we're just going to set ourselves back and we have to go back in the oven. All right, next side, y'all getting this? So we're moving on to point two, y'all. We talked about the cake. Now we're talking about the house process. This is what we're building from what nobody sees. This is where you're building from what nobody sees. The foundation is more important than the paint. Okay. The foundation is much more important than what's going to go on the wall and what's going to be again, the finished product of something. The foundation is the most important part. We could think about the components of building a house, just like a site preparation. There's a foundation that's going to be laid, the framing around the foundation. Then you have the plumbing, the electrical, the drywall, the roofing, and then also the finishing touches. Nobody celebrates the concrete foundation. Everybody celebrates the finished house. Sometimes have you ever had your house built before, or you put in the comments, let me know if you had a house built from scratch, or you've gone to certain lots and you see the foundation poured or whatnot. It looks strange. It's like a house is going to be on top of that. Like this looks crazy. Like it just looks like there's nothing. It looks desolate. It's like almost like you have to really envision what the blueprint is. You have to envision what the contractors have shown you because it just seems nothing, like nothing. This is it. Some blocks of concrete and some frame around it. Like this is really going to be what I want it to be because I can't see it yet. How do we apply this to our own lives? Now, when we talk about a foundation and things, people often envy the results while ignoring the preparation. Y'all hear me? People often envy results while ignoring the preparation. It's so good to look at the results of somebody else's house that's been done and it's finished and it's immaculate and things of that nature. But have you see all of that? But did you ever see the start to what that person has been doing or what process that looked like? Just like for you, nobody can applaud the early mornings that you've made, the sacrifices, maybe the counseling, the things you've been doing to work on your own life, work on your past trauma, your pains and things because your wounds because you want to become better. How you've been working on healing, you've been studying to show yourself approved and whatever you want to do in your life, even if that's just about you, and also character development. Nobody sees that. So people can look at your life and they see your results or end results or something, and they might envy you, and they have no idea the preparation you've done behind closed doors, and also the blood, sweat, and tears that have gone in, and again, sacrifices. But those hidden stages support everything visible. Those hidden stages that you have gone through support everything that everybody finally sees. It goes back to that overnight sensation. Somebody can look at you and say, like, my God, like, where did you come from? It's like, you have no idea. I am not some overnight sensation. You just might be seeing the eye. I might be meeting your eye, but I've been around. I've been working very hard to get to where I am. This is just not some quick thing. So why does timing matter in this? A small home and a mansion don't require the same timeline. You go to build a mansion, it's going to take more time, right? I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how much how many contractors you have out there, how many workers you have. That's going to take more time than if you have a small home that you can, maybe it's one level. You could do that just like that. Likewise for you, what about different callings you have? We have different responsibilities, different levels of influence. Certain things take different measures of time based on what that is for each individual. Sometimes you can look at somebody and be like, you ain't got to where you got to yet. And it's like you don't know what they have to do or what you're not in their shoes. You don't know what it is going to take for them to become who they are. It might take a little bit more time because God has a bigger space for them. They have a bigger platform, they have a bigger influence. So their preparation and development might take longer than yours. And sometimes we have certain seasons where it doesn't take as long to do what we're going to do in that season or in that time of our life. But there can be things that you happen to be dealing with even right now, wondering like, why is it taking so long? But if you pay attention to who you are becoming, what you're doing, what God has exposed you to, if He gave you a dream, He knows you have the capacity to fulfill it. It just might mean that the timing matters in this because He doesn't want to prematurely put you out in the world or to do what you're going to do. And there's still some things that need to be worked on through you or also prepared for you. So again, these levels, different levels require different preparation for all of us. What happens when we try to rush this? The cracks appear. This is talking about building a house. Cracks appear in the foundation. Structural weaknesses, they emerge. Also, problems that are hidden today become disasters tomorrow. So it's like if you take our time with building our house, we can't have cracks in the foundation because a good old wind come through there, and that house is not going to have something that's going to be firm to stand on. They won't have a firm foundation, just like our firm foundation is Christ. Mine is. I dare not trust the sweetest name, but wholly lean on Jesus' name. On Christ, the solid rock I stand. But all of the ground is seeking sand. So cracks might appear in the foundation. Then your structure is not strong enough to withstand things that come with your life, challenges that come, obstacles that come. And then also the things that you don't deal with today in your life, the wounds that you have, the pain that you have, the dysfunction you have, the toxicity you have, whatever that is, it's going to become tomorrow's disaster because it's going to be exposed at some point. So, if the foundation isn't right, the future becomes expensive. Y'all hear me? If the foundation isn't right, the future becomes expensive. So now, because I didn't take care of certain things on the front end and take my time, now it's going to cost more money to repair. Y'all got me? Y'all ready to move number three? Are y'all excited about this? I am. Is this you sometimes don't realize there are simple things that we could parallel our lives to that make things so much more clear for us, and also gives you a chance to say, how am I rushing in my life? I want you to think about that. What areas am I rushing right now because I'm impatient or I'm tired? I'm ready for certain things to happen. Number three, y'all, the car. Everybody loves cars, right? One running joke with anybody close to me, especially my mom, loves to joke on me about this, but I'm not a car person. I just feel like it's a get you to A and B. Oh, that looks nice. You have a nice car. What's the V? They're like, yeah, it's a such and such year and it's the new edition. I'm like, that's great. Somebody asked me what my car is, I can tell you. Don't ask me nothing else about it though. But with the car assembly line, every part matters. Everybody say that right now. Every part matters. So this is what we're talking about, car assembly. A car is not one piece. It's thousands of pieces working together. And if we point out certain things of a car, what's the components of that? We have what? The engine, the transmission, the brakes, the tires, the electronics, the interior, safety systems, especially now, y'all. There's so many safety systems in a car, like the car telling you to brake, car telling you all these different things that you just didn't have back in the day. It almost is driving for you, thinking for you, pre-thinking for you, all of that. So a missing bolt, just one missing bolt can affect the entire vehicle. One little thing that's missing can actually can affect the entire automobile. How do we apply this to our lives? Well, your life consists of multiple systems, right? You have your spiritual health, you have your mental health, you have your emotional health, right? You have your physical health, you have your relationships, you have your finances. These are just examples. And ignoring one area eventually impacts the others. If I don't handle my finances, this might mess with my emotional health because now I don't know what to do. I'm crying, I'm sad, I don't know I'm confused, I don't have any clarity. I feel disappointment, I feel shame, I feel guilt. And this also might shut my immune system down. So now it's my physical health. This might also affect my relationships because now I can't go out to eat with everybody. Just using it as an example. But one thing can affect all things. Why does timing matter with vehicles, y'all? Some vehicles require more engineering and testing than others. Also, we have so many different brands, so many different makes and models of cars, years, all of those things play a component. Like certain cars are not going to be made the same. Certain things are going to require different timing. I mean, a luxury vehicle doesn't move through the process at the same pace as every other model. A luxury vehicle may have greater detail, greater specifications, certain things that even a person wants to be tailor made to their car. So it's going to take more time than just a typical car or model of a car. So what happens when we rush our cars on the assembly line? You think about it, y'all. Have y'all ever been to a car plant? I have before. It was it's in Murfreesboro, Smyrna or Murfreesboro. I cannot remember in Tennessee. I cannot even remember the name. See, I told y'all cars and just goes over my head. But it was amazing to watch the assembly line and like how you were seeing one part move to this part to that part. That and I mean, it took a long time. It seemed like it would take forever for a car to be completely assembled. But if we rush the car process being put together, we have defective parts that will remain. We have safety risks that will increase. We also have recalls that can become necessary. Y'all hear about people with cars, oh, we have to recall this model, such and such and such and such. It's, yeah, yeah, because if not, that's going to be a hazard to that driver. Um, so what happens when we rush? We don't, this can be a hazard to somebody's health. You driving a car and all of a sudden you start hearing a noise. It's like, I just got this car. It's like something's missing. Maybe when they was at the assembly on the assembly line, somebody must have skipped one level or something. So in our life, how do we apply this? What's the lesson out of this? What isn't addressed during production eventually gets exposed in performance. What isn't addressed during production eventually gets exposed in performance. Let me say this really quick. God has given me great opportunities in times to be very connected to celebrities, whether in any way you think about, and also by let's see, in what they do, but then also behind the scenes, and getting me allow me to be up close and personal, get to know them. I'm always a person who's more drawn to who the person is. I honor the gifts and the talents and the abilities of people who have major platforms all over this world. But I really, the biggest thing for me is who is the person? Because all of the things you do are wonderful, but who is the person behind that? That's what draws me. I'm just different that way. But if you are dealing with wounds and openness, you're like, oh, I want to be this. I want fame. I want whatever. Well, fame is going to put the spotlight on things and magnify what you have not healed, magnify what's still leaking from you, magnify your pain, magnify your certain what is it, y'all? Goodness gracious. It's going to magnify some of your frailties, your insecurities, also the things that you use as maybe unhealthy coping mechanisms, some of your struggles, some of your challenges. Now it's magnified. So it's like what you don't start to work on. And if God is giving you a time, and some of y'all out there, I feel like there are people who God has called you to do greater things and on great scales and large scales and all over the world and on major platforms. If He's giving you time to heal and work through some things in private, thank God for that because some people don't get that. They have to be in the public eye, they're in the limelight. You've seen it with some people who you probably highly admire, and they're exposed and it's magnified now because they have a huge light on them all the time. So, what isn't addressed during production eventually gets exposed in performance. Two more parts, y'all. We're almost done. I promise. I know y'all want to get you out to your Fridays with your family or just to yourself to enjoy your weekend. Stay dry. I know it's been raining here a lot in Atlanta. Ain't no telling what y'all are dealing with as well. But number four, inspection. This is the necessary final step before we get to the outcome or the end result of who we are in a season, what we're going to do in a season, and then also tie it back to the cake, the house, and the car. Okay, car assembly. So a completion doesn't automatically mean readiness. Just because something is done doesn't mean that it's ready to be presented. Just because you have gotten through a certain process in your life doesn't mean, okay, now I've done everything, so now it's time to go. It's like, ho, wait, wait, wait. Before we do all of that, when we think about a cake, we're going to inspect the cake. I know y'all never think about inspect the cake. Like, yeah. But you know what? You watch some of them baking places. I remember Julia Child used to inspect herself. She would be pulling that thing out the cake and then she'd be making sure, okay, we got this and we got that and we got this. Okay, now we're ready to serve. So with the cake inspection, you got to see, is it fully baked or is it still raw in the middle? Hope it ain't. Don't eat it. Put it back in the oven. Is the structure stable? If I take it out and put it on a plate or put it in a cake platter thing to put a dome over it or whatever, is it going to hold up or is it going to fall apart or crumble or be leaning with it and rocking with it? Is it ready to be served? Is this something that now that you have prepared that you can actually give to people and they can digest it? And think about that, even with your gifts, your talents, your abilities, your skills. Is what you have at a place of completion at this stage to where people are able to partake in it and digest it? We talk about a house inspection. Okay, you got to do the electrical inspection. Then you got to do the plumbing inspection, a structural inspection. Is this thing gonna stand? Are the lights gonna come on? Is everything gonna flow properly through the house? Y'all following me? Car inspection, safety testing. Is this thing all right to put somebody in? Y'all remember the crash test dummy thing? They used to crash test the cars or whatever. Is it safe for somebody to drive? Quality control. Is this something that's going to be upstanding and long lasting for this person? Is it going to be something that's going to be of good merit for them to drive? Performance testing. Is it going to do what it's supposed to do, what it's marketed to do? For life application, y'all, sometimes God, life, mentors, coaches, or trusted people inspect areas of our lives before the next level. And it's not to reject us, but it's to protect us. Inspection isn't punishment, it's preparation. You want somebody, if you have trusted people in your life, and again, you got the Lord in your life, sometimes He wants to inspect you and say, all right, it's almost like when you go to a tailor, and this is anybody who's trusted in your life, close people to you who you can trust their voices, trust their wisdom, trust their care, trust their motive towards you, trust that they have your best interest at heart. It's like you go to a tailor and they want to make sure it's going to fit you to a T. But before they make the markings and things, and they tailor make your pants, your jacket, your shirt, your tie, whatever it is. Well, when you come to pick it up, they're gonna try it, put it on you. And once they do, they want to make sure that everything fits you to a T. So it's like they have to inspect it. It's the same thing. You want people in your life. First of all, God is going to be the true inspector. He's a chief inspector to be able to make sure that there was no edges that need to be brushed off. There's no residue on you, no spots, nothing like that that's going to expose you in a way. And then people close enough to you to say, that looks good. Okay, yep, you got it. Hold on, let me fix your collar, whatever your collar is, just to make sure that before you're released into what you're going to do or released off to do what you do, they just want to make sure that you are all that you are, that you work so hard to become through this process that you've been in. And some of y'all have been in long process, I know. One more part, y'all, and I'm gonna let y'all go. But I want to address, why do we rush? Common reasons is because we compare. Comparison is a thief of joy, y'all. We compare, we see other people's lives, and you think, I want to be like that. Why ain't I like that? Okay, let me hurry up and do this. Let me see what they did so I can hurry up, so I can post, so I can put stuff out there, so I can alert my family, alert everybody and say, look at what I'm doing. Oh, yeah, I'm there now. Why else do we rush? Impatience. You don't want to wait. You don't want to sit on your hands for a minute. You don't want to let the patience have its perfect work in you. That's what the word says. Pressure. But where's the pressure coming from? Is it from your own unrealistic expectations? Is it coming from external things, from family? Is it coming from peers? People asking you questions, saying that you should be someplace by now that you're not? Is it fear of missing out? I gotta hurry up because if I don't do it in this window, I ain't gonna never do it. Well, to be honest, some cases it's a difference between waiting on proper process and proper preparation and development versus you just flying by the seat of your pants. I mean, I'm sorry, you being disobedient. You being disobedient, knowing that there are certain things that you should have done within a certain time, but fear may be crept in. But fear of missing out is saying like, okay, I had to hurry up and do this. I'm gonna rush, do what I got to do, and then it's like it's a mess. It's like, why didn't you take your time? Also, a desire for immediate results. Sometimes we want it microwaved. Okay, I don't want to go through all of that. Let me just hurry up. Let me click my heels 3 times, and I want to be wherever I'm supposed to be. And it's like, well, it doesn't work like that. Not if you want things to be upstanding and long-standing, to endure. Sometimes too, one thing I love to vacuum. I still do. I love to vacuum. I love to clean up. I love to wash clothes. People think I'm crazy, but it's okay. I love to vacuum and I love to wash clothes. And I think it's because you get instant gratification of something going from one state to another quickly. That's been something I've worked on. I didn't notice it until about 6 years ago. And I said, you know what? I'm a patient person, but can I always improve? Yes. And I said, but something about vacuuming and washing clothes, it's a quick thing. I watched something go from one state to another, and it's like, bam, okay, we done. That didn't take all day. But in our reality of things, rushing can often create incomplete development. It can be a costly mistake, several costly mistakes that you end up having to endure that you didn't have to. You have to go back and rework things. So that creates more time. That's taking more away from your productivity. That's taking more time from you flourishing in the things you're going to do because it's like, I could have been so much further now, but now I got to go rework this strategy and this plan and this structure now because I was in such a rush. But then it also puts you in a place of unnecessary delays. It's like I don't have to be in the delay if I just would have taken my time. Now it's going to take probably more time to fix things and then try to go back to what I was initially setting forth to do. So ironically, you know what? Rushing often mistakes. I said mistakes. Often it often makes the journey longer. Rushing makes the journey longer. So sometimes in your life, some moments of this weekend, I want you to think about some areas where things may be prolonged because you were in a rush. And now that stuff, some stuff crumbled, and some of y'all don't even want to get back onto the drawing board and becoming who you're supposed to become, or working on the things that you've been wanting to work on, your ideas, your innovations, going into new avenues of your life, new lanes, new career paths, marriage, dating, moving, creating, whatever that is. You just take the list can go forever and forever. But maybe you are prolonging things because you were in a rush before, and it's probably crushed your hope in some way. But it's time to get back to it. It's time to get back into the process because the quicker you get back into it, the quicker you can be through the process of preparation and development, and then now producing and having an outcome. So my closing thought for you all, thank you for your patience and staying with me, y'all. I mean, this is something I think that's you have to really sit with. It's something you're gonna probably want to watch again. Please share, please like, and please subscribe. Send this to people who you know right now have been in the process for a while, and maybe they've gotten weary. Maybe they're like, this is taking so long, but maybe they just need to be reminded that maybe the longer it's taking is because it's so much, it's vast, it's bigger than what you think, and it's going to require you to be a different you to hold it, to carry it, to walk it out, to see it through. A cake isn't ready because you want it to be. A house isn't complete because you're tired of waiting. A car isn't safe because you're eager to drive it. Each requires ingredients, multiple parts. Remember that, y'all? Process, timing, and also inspection. And so do we. Not just talking about a cake, a house, and a car. Put yourself there. We require all of those things. There's multiple things that make you. There's been a great process that's making you and making you into who you have not become yet. There's timing that's tied to you. Some things are so precious about you, and that's within you. It takes more time because we don't want to rush something, and then you come out here broken and lacking in areas. We're not doing that. And then inspection. We got to look in the mirror and make sure, okay, do I have all I need at this point? It doesn't mean you have to have everything, but inspecting what this process requires of you. Do I have everything that I need? So trust the process, respect the timing, embrace the inspection, because what is built correctly lasts longer than what is built quickly. I like that last part. What is built correctly lasts longer than what is built quickly. So if you don't remember anything else as we're closing out tonight, everybody clap it up really quick for the good old Inspector Gadget. We're talking about things we're building with from the foundation, from start to finish, and seeing the process through so that we're functioning properly. We're not some defects. We're not defected in any way. Okay. Don't envy the finished product. If you're unwilling to honor the process that produced it. Don't envy the finished product if you're unwilling to honor the process that produced it. What that can even mean tied to yourself or to anyone else. You can envy what somebody's product and what you see them doing, but you have no idea the process that they've gone through to produce what they're doing. So I would say that even for you, don't even look at what the outcome can be. God has shown you a lot of times what you're going to produce, what fruit you're going to bear in your life, the things you're going to do, but you just didn't always know the process it was going to take for you to get there. So don't rush it. Don't push past it. I know some of y'all been waiting a long time. Don't be weary and well doing. You could be right where you're supposed to be, right around the corner from exactly all the things that you're going to do. But pay attention to how you've done so much development. You've been preparing and so many things, even though your preparation looks different than anybody else's, and it's supposed to. You're unique. You're not like anybody else. So I love y'all. I really do. I hope that you have an amazing rest of this Friday and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Please, please, please share this out as much as possible. Right now, we're just on YouTube, LinkedIn, and also Facebook, just for right now. And again, y'all, lean with it, rock with it. And guess what? This is a part of my process. This is a part of my process, and this is a part of development. This is also a part of preparation for greater things. And also, I want you to know that sometimes when you're in your process, some things can look like they're being pulled back, but it's actually you're being pulled back. I think sometimes to take a look outside of where you are, kind of stand back a little bit and look at where you are and where you are at the moment, so that you have a clearer view about where you're headed. So I love you. Spread love now more than ever. And you know it starts with you. You've always been great. You're just getting better. And you're learning to embrace it. And you're learning to embrace the process that it's taken for you to get here and where you're going. So I will talk to y'all next Friday right here on the Inspiration Station with none other than Joshua Lennox, your CEO, your Chief Encouragement Officer. I'll be right here at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 5 p.m. Mountain Time, and 4 p.m. Pacific Time. And all my international people, they know their time zones better than I do. So we will be right here, and I will talk to y'all later. Love you. Spread love now than ever. As I said, y'all know we need it more than ever. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.